Daniel Mendes, how are you today, my friend?
What's up? I'm good. I'm good.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm blessed to be here. We're in Fight Sports, Deerfield Beach, your gym.
Thanks. Thanks for the invitation.
It's awesome, man. And we're going to share your story today inside and outside of combat sports. Daniel, you're a professional combat sports coach. You've been doing this how long?
19 years.
Wow.
20 years. Almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as far as your start in combat sports, we're going to, like I said, we'll go inside and outside of combat sports. We'll talk about your family today. We'll talk about your connection to the combat sports world.
Yep.
Where did it all begin?
I would say in 1999, I had a couple of friends from my neighborhood. They all loved the martial arts. Capoeira, jiu-jitsu, boxing. And 23 years ago, we didn't have gyms around where I used to live with my friends. And we used to do like crazy things in the garage, like competition, but we used to have people coming from capoeira, boxing, and jiu-jitsu, and like sparring sessions. It was a fight, but I mean, we didn't knock people out, because to be more safe. And that's how I started to love the martial arts, like in the garage, inviting friends, because we didn't have a martial arts gym back, in 2009, in 1999, 2000. And as soon as I got into the university in 2002, I met a couple other friends. And because my university, I studied physical education in Brazil, and I had a lot of friends coming from different martial arts gyms. Okay. And because we used to train in different places, different cities where I used to live. So that's how I created the habit, to go to their gyms and learn a little bit about, boxing and Muay Thai and a couple of things like that.
And you were sharing prior that your focus was Muay Thai and boxing.
Yes.
There's a number of combat sports, and I think a lot of times it's not just boxing, it's not just grappling or Muay Thai. There's so many different moving parts to combat sports. So you were attracted mostly to boxing and Muay Thai.
Yeah, when I first started like I said, in 2002, specifically Muay Thai, I had one friend, Hugo. He invited me for his gym, and I really liked it, the Muay Thai, the martial arts. And we didn't have a lot of gyms, like I said, back in 20 years ago, especially in our city. But I found a good Muay Thai gym where my friend was training. He invited me, and then I started to train in 2002, basically. Only 10 years later, I started to train box with another coach, and I love boxing. So that's why I became, a boxing coach also, and especially also because I was studying physical education in the university.
Yeah, it's interesting you're talking about boxing specifically. Obviously, Team La Perla Boxing MMA in Puerto Rico. Boxing in Brazil. Let's talk a little bit about that. There's a couple fighters I know, Falcao. I think there's two brothers.
Yeah.
One was actually out of Florida, and the other one's over in Texas. I think trains at Robert Garcia's boxing academy.
Yeah, I mean, they are a very popular family in our state, and they became silver medal in the Olympic Games.
Okay.
I forgot when it was, 2012. 2012.
I believe so.
Yeah, and they have a lot of fighters in the same family. But they became very popular, both of them, because they fought Olympic Games, and now they're going. I mean, they are already professionals, and they're doing really good. One of them, he didn't lose yet. He has
still undefeated.
Maybe about 20 fights, I guess.
Okay.
And he didn't lose.
Very interesting. Yeah, as boxing continues to grow in Brazil, obviously, they're known as the capital or the kingdom of combat sports.
Yeah.
Growing up,
we have also Popó.
Okay.
He's very popular. He's not fighting anymore, but he became world champion like so many times, fighting guys with really high level 20 years ago maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are some of the fighters?
Marcelino Popó.
Okay.
Freitas.
Oh, Papas Fritas.
Papas Fritas,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Papa
Okay, yeah,
Fritas.
he was big time, man.
Yeah.
As you're explaining, I'm going, wait a minute, who is he talking about? Because
Yeah,
I'm
Papa
missing something.
Fritas, yeah.
Okay, Papas Fritas.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Because I'm thinking, wait a minute. Yeah, he was a big time, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So was that one of the fighters along with, who were some other fighters you looked up to growing up? Whether it was combat sports or boxing?
In boxing or in general? Like,
Overall.
I mean, we have a lot of legends in Brazil. Back in the day, like I said, 20 years ago, I used to go to places just to rent like tapes to watch fights.
Wow.
And I remember that back in the day, Taro Nogueira in MMA, his brother, Anderson Silva, Vanderlei Silva, a lot of guys, Vitor Belfort, and those are the guys that I used to go, rent those tapes to watch fights when they used to fight back in Japan. Like also my partner here in the gym, JZ Cavalcante, he's a legend. And I'm happy to be here in this gym today, Fight Sports Deerfield Beach, with this guy that, he's my friend and my partner in the gym.
Yeah, it's a very impressive facility you have here. Beautiful sign as we are sitting in your gym. And it shows your hard work and dedication to combat sports as you put the time in. Growing up and then transitioning over to the States, how did that come about? And talk to me a little bit about that.
I had a lot of experience in Brazil training high-level fighters. In Tino Nogueira, like I said, Minotauro's Nogueira gym, Little Nog. I've been training a lot of guys in Brazil, like Ronaldo Jacare, most of them specifically for MMA. Okay. Even I started with Muay Thai, and I have a little bit of experience also in boxing. MMA was my goal since I started being a coach. And I had a lot of experience in Brazil training, like I said, professional fighters. And back in the day, they used to fight in shows like Bellator, Bulldog Fight in Japan, UFC, Jungle Fight, and I've been coaching people like Eric Silva, Vitor Belfort, Ronaldo Jacare, Rafael Feijão, all of them specifically for Muay Thai. So I remember like 6 years ago maybe, that's when I came to US.
Okay.
Because I was Vitor Belfort's team. They called me, and I went to Rio de Janeiro where he had his own gym, because they were looking for a striking coach in US for him. So that's how I came to US in 2014, because Vitor Belfort brought me to US to be his coach. And then I started to teach also guys like Gilbert Burns, that he's going to fight for the title right now. Yeah, and guys like Cesar Ferreira and like, for example, JZ Cavalcante, and a lot of Ronaldo Jacare, Rodolfo Vieira, a lot of Renato Moicano, a lot of other guys.
It's impressive. You got a resume.
Yeah, thank you.
We're learning about Daniel Mendes today on the Sunday Sit Down series. Daniel, as you transition to the States and you're really working hands-on with a lot of fighters, you've also expanded outside of having your own gym and being a teacher. You also have your own podcast with your wife.
Oh, yeah. No, she's not my wife.
I apologize.
Don't get me in trouble. She's my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, we have this huge Brazilian radio station, which is not just radio, not just to listening. Also, people can watch through the Amazon Prime, Roku TV, YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, everything live. So we have our show, Sports Zone, every Tuesday. So we are interviewing athletes, specifically Brazilian athletes, and sometimes also Brazilian coaches, to understand about, their journey, how they became champions, and we have a lot of people to interview this year also. And soccer players, basketball players, especially fighters. I was talking to my partner there in the radio, Amanda, and
your partner.
Not
his wife.
Yeah,
not his wife.
I was talking to her that, listen, we cannot invite just fighters because our show, but that's my, that's what I
your
live.
focus.
Yeah, every day.
Right.
And I said, well, we gotta invite people also from different sports. So
Yeah.
that's what we are doing right now.
And it's called Radio Sports. It's called the Sports Zone on Radio Brazil,
Yeah.
Florida.
But yeah.
Okay.
Radio Florida.
And where can
Brazil,
people find the links for that and social media?
Social media I use, they go Radio Florida BR, like Radio Florida, the name.
Okay.
But we call Radio Florida Brazil with Z, Brazil with Z. People can find and they can follow YouTube channel and everything.
That's awesome.
And also if you go to, for example, Roku TV or Amazon Prime, you can just type Radio Florida Brazil. You guys gonna see and all our interviews, they're live every Tuesday.
That's amazing. And that's
Yeah.
broadcast all the way across
And today
Brazil.
I'm here in the different side being interviewed. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, definitely. And that gets broadcast across Brazil. All
Yes,
of Brazil.
yeah. All
Live.
over the world.
The whole world.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in 7
And
years.
also people
Go ahead.
and also people can download the app through the store, Google
the Apple
Store, or
and
Apple,
Google Store. Okay.
and they can also, because we have two different shows. The one that I was talking to you, people can watch the interview on the TV, and we have another show after, which is 5 p.m. in Florida, that people they can listen like through the app, like a radio station.
Almost a podcast,
Yeah,
essentially.
you just
Excuse
can
me.
download and
Okay.
be live with us.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
within 7 years, got here, training some of the top fighters.
Yeah.
You have your own gym,
Yep.
and you have your own show.
With my partner Jay-Z, he's right here. He just got here with my partner Jay-Z.
Wow.
He can be the next interview for you guys.
Okay, sounds good. We'll definitely have to have Jay-Z, who has a history in combat sports and a long resume.
Yeah.
We'll have to definitely join me on the Sunday Sit Down series. Daniel, what are some of your goals moving forward from this point?
Moving forward from this point, okay, we have Jay-Z and I. We've been working hard in this gym. This is the week that we are doing 1 year anniversary in the gym.
Wow.
Yeah, this week. Like
Congratulations.
4 days ago, thanks. 4 days ago. And we are building up our own team, MMA team specifically. We have a lot of champions here already, like from a lot of different amateur shows in Florida. We also have one kickboxing world champion here with us, Nikita Chubb. He's going to MMA soon. We're trying to make this transition, going to MMA. And yeah, we want to build this gym up, open more gyms in the future, and also we are working hard on our MMA team to, bring and build more fighters to the highest level for sure. And we can do this, I know.
Definitely. I would say within 7 years, if you've done what you've done already,
Yeah.
it's quite impressive, your resume, Daniel, and truly special to be in your gym and share your story.
Thanks.
If we backtrack a little, as far as your transition in the sport when you came to the States and your focus was boxing and Muay Thai, talk to me about how that's gone within the States, because obviously Muay Thai is not as well known. Boxing is. Talk to me about kind of what's been going on with your focus being on those two parts or facets of combat sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, boxing is it's classic. It's very popular for many, many years. MMA is a new sport.
Right.
Right? I don't think people, what I'm gonna say right now, it's crazy, but in my opinion, MMA, it is not like a concept of martial arts. For me, it's a new sport, brand new sport, like 25 years ago maybe, and it's entertainment. Not like Muay Thai and boxing, like 2,000 years being practicing, people practicing. But I try to apply everything that I've been learning in Muay Thai and also in boxing, because I love boxing, into the MMA. I have to try to keep the concept, but I have a lot of things that I can adapt, bring into MMA game, And also Muay Thai specifically in the United States, we don't have a lot of competitions. So my classes for regular people. I teach the traditional Muay Thai, but we don't have a lot of competitions, like I said. And all my focus is to bring those concepts and everything that I've been learning, and I'm still learning, of course,
Right.
to apply between in my MMA team with with Jay-Z, and to make better fighters in the future.
Yeah, and just getting an understanding of the focus, it's so different having to learn all these different facets of MMA. And I find it interesting that some people focus on one or two when you have to be a five-tool player, so to say. But when we look at the UFC, for instance, that's not the end-all, be-all that most people think. At the end of the day, they have so many other promotions and so many other events, whether it's grappling, whether it's the Muay Thai, the kickboxing. I recall going to a Glory kickboxing show. I was astonished. But it doesn't just pick up in the States. Like these other facets of MMA. We all put it together in the UFC, and that's the popular thing. But there's so many other great athletes and so many other focuses of combat sports that don't get the representation or the coverage. And that's I find it very interesting that you do focus on Muay Thai and boxing, being that you are Brazilian, and boxing is very popular in other countries and in the States. But Muay Thai, man, I mean, just going to even watching Glory kickboxing, like I referred to, I was impressed, and I think I paid like $30 for the ticket and got like 10 fights, and it was world class.
Yeah, world class.
And I think those guys need to get a little more respect and coverage.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, but that's one of the reasons that usually you see people going from kickboxing, trying to jump into the MMA sports combat, because it's not being easy for the fighters to make money fighting just kickboxing or Muay Thai, for example, right? In MMA, we have a lot of martials, like you said, all over the U.S. and all over the world. They can have more, more options to build a better career.
Definitely. And as we wrap up today, Daniel, what's your message to the young up-and-coming fighters or people interested in the sport, adults or youth? What's your message to them?
Sorry, say again, please.
What's your message to youth or anybody interested in combat sports? What would you share with them if they have an interest?
I mean, combat sports, all of them, like jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, I love, and it's really important for, people, they learn about respect, they learn about dedication, not just to become a fighter, but when you are training in one MMA gym or boxing gym or Muay Thai gym, of course you need to have a good coach. A good coach makes a huge difference. But change your life, for sure. I would say change your life. I have a lot of teenagers coming to the gym. Their parents bring them to the gym and asking me and asking people in our gym, hey, listen, my son, he's doing this at home. So I wish to have him, doing martial arts.
The discipline
They
aspect.
already have an idea that martial arts gym is a good place to, to build a better character, to be a better person in the future. And yeah, that's the message that I have to say. Bring your family to a martial arts gym.
Definitely.
Doesn't matter if you're doing jiu-jitsu, grappling, boxing, Muay Thai. Just make sure you find a good gym, a good coach. Doesn't need to be, it's really important to say, because I'm a physical educator in Brazil. Doesn't need to be one coach that works only with high-level fighters. We have a lot of good coaches, and they like to work with regular people, to lose weight, to be a better person. Not just, okay, let's go for that gym because they have a good coach, he has a lot of champions. No. You can find really good coaches without being in one gym specifically that they have a lot of belts, a lot of trophies, Just make sure you find a good coach, and it's gonna change your life.
Definitely. Discipline, respect. Daniel Mendes, Fight Sports, Deerfield Beach. Where can we find you on social media for yourself as well as the gym?
Social media, just Daniel Mendes on Instagram. You you can find me on through the Instagram. You can find me on my YouTube channel and Facebook and everything. So just Daniel Mendes. The last letter is really important to say is S,
not Z.
Daniel Mendes. And also Fight Sports, same thing on Instagram for our gym, Fight Sports Deerfield Beach. You can find us on Instagram and follow us.
Awesome.
And let's keep tracking our progress.
Definitely.
I have my daughter right here.
Yeah, and we'll give a shout out. Let's give a shout out to your, before we wrap up, let's give a shout out to your daughter and your wife as well, Daniel. What's your name?
Thank you, Elena.
Elena. And how many children do you have?
Just one.
Just the one. Okay.
And I will stick only with the one.
Okay. And your wife. Let's give a shout out.
My wife, Sammy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a blessing. Daniel, I really appreciate your time.
All right.
Fight Sports Deerfield Beach. Check them out. Check out Daniel Mendes. Check out Radio Brazil, Florida, sharing stories all around the world about focusing on Brazil. It's truly special to be in your gym and share your stories today, Daniel.
Thanks for the invitation. Yeah, I'm here. Whenever you guys want me to invite again, also we can have our fighters here. We have a lot of fighters, good guys here. Jay-Z Cavalcante, it's going to be a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll sit down with him. He's got a lot to share.
Yeah.
And as some fighters do as well. So appreciate your time. Thank you, Daniel, for joining me on the Sunday Sit Down series.
All right.
All right. Take care.